Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about an interesting paper titled Data Mining on Smartphones and Introduction and Survey. So this paper is published in 2022 in ASM Computing Surveys. This paper explores an idea that might seem surprising at first. While our smartphones are almost as powerful as computers, we rarely use them for heavy tasks like data mining. Instead, most of the work is done in the cloud. So this paper looks at why this is and what could be the possibilities in the future. So the main purpose of this study is to explore the potential of smartphone as more than just data collectors. So the authors ask, why are not our phones doing the heavy lifting themselves? Even though modern smartphones have strong processors, plenty of memory and storage, most data processing is still sent to remote servers. And that creates two big problems. One is privacy, which is sending sensitive data to the cloud, which increases the risk of data leaks. Second one is reliability, which is if my internet connection is slow or unstable, my apps cannot work effectively. So the research questions focus on how smartphone performance has evolved and how far we have come in running model training and data mining directly on mobile devices. So literature. So the study reviews 210 references on topics like data mining, on device, machine learning and model training, mobile and edge computing, privacy and security, and resource constraints like battery life and memory limits. So essentially, it builds a big picture of how smartphones have become capable machines that could potentially run complex tasks locally. So this is a survey paper, and the author did not collect the new data. Instead, they reviewed and analyzed the existing approach. And they selected the studies focused on smartphones and data mining, compared them, and highlighted the trends, gaps, and challenges. They really did not propose a new theory, but they provided a thorough overview of the fact in this field. So the key findings from the paper are modern smartphones are powerful enough to handle data mining that we got to learn from this paper. And despite these, most studies still rely heavily on cloud processing. And another one is on-device model training is still rare, but it is possible. So the paper highlights benefits of on-device mining, which protects the privacy and reduces dependency on internet connectivity. However, challenges remain such as limited battery life, computational resources, and difficulties running complex models. So while phones have potential, practical use still requires optimization and innovative approaches. So the main contribution of this paper is opening our eyes to what smartphones could do beyond being communication devices. They could become independent, privacy protecting data mining devices, which encourages researchers and developers to explore ways to minimize reliance on the cloud. If I talk about the paper is really easy to understand and read, and it's well structured. It's timely and relevant because smartphones are everywhere and privacy concerns are growing. So the survey approach works well for summarizing the current research and identifying gaps. Future research could include more real-world testing, case studies, and hybrid approaches where phones do some work locally and the cloud handles more complex tasks. And if the paper includes more tables and figures comparing algorithm performance on mobile devices, that could also be useful research and useful comparisons. And so the things we learned from the paper, that these are smartphones are closer than ever to being mini computers in our pockets. If we could learn data mining directly on phones, we could better protect our personal data and rethink how apps handle the information, which leads to some interesting questions. If smartphones are powerful enough, why has not on-device data mining taken off yet? And second one is, could hybrid approaches where phones do the initial mining locally and the cloud refines results protect the privacy effectively? So these are the exciting areas for future exploration. If I go to the paper, if we talk about this figure, this provides the normalized approximate integer performance gains of ARM performance grade CPU cores over time. So it compares ARM cores from ARM 11 all the way up to Cortex X2. I mean, this figure reflects that modern smartphones CPUs are dramatically faster than earlier generations, which is why on-device data mining is now technically feasible, and it helps us to understand how improvements in hardware and directly impact the ability of software to handle intensive tasks. With this level of performance, smartphones are capable of executing more complex algorithms locally. So, if I talk about another one, so the bar chart on the left shows how much built-in flash storage retail Android phones had in 2020. And the scatter plot on the right compares how much RAM phones carry versus their retail price in Australian dollars. So, actually, if I want to summarize both, so these charts illustrate the core argument of the paper, that the smartphones have already crossed a threshold where they can handle demanding computational tasks. Storage is abundant and high-end devices now provide RAM levels that were unthinkable just a few years ago. And this image shows two different ways data mining can be distributed across multiple devices. So, first one is client server model, which is all the clients send their data to a central server. And this one is peer to peer P2P model. In this setup, there is no single boss. Each client can share and process data with others directly. So, this matters for smartphone data mining because the client server model matches how cloud-based mining usually works today. Phones send raw data to a server which processes it. The P2P approach is more revolutionary. Uh, Imagine the millions of smartphones contributing their own computing power, learning together without exposing sensitive data. That leads making data mining more efficient, scalable, and decentralized. So, so if I want to conclude, uh, then I believe that this paper talks about various approaches of modern life, how smartphones are impacting and changing our lives. And the paper also shows that our everyday devices have huge potential. And by combining the processing power of smartphones, we can make computing more private, efficient, and mobile. Thank you for listening, and I hope it inspires everyone to think differently about the capabilities of the device we carry every day.